Today, we will be taking a look at all bank robbers of all years, from the worst ones to the least serious ones. I will be ranking them all. But like I said earlier, a couple seconds ago, every bank robber is wrong, but we will be ranking them from the least worst to the most worst. But yeah, make sure to check it out. This tier list, we have 4 famous bank robbers that most of us pretty much know. From the oldest to the newest, we have the 4 of them. We'll start off with Michael DeSanta. Michael DeSanta, born on January of 1965. Michael DeSanta is a fictional character whose past is based on bank robberies, criminal organization, and other sorts of crime. Michael DeSanta's first robbery was in 1992, which he worked with other criminals to steal a store that was organized crime. However, his massive crime is pretty much in 2004, which, with the works of Lester Crest, Trevor Phillips, Brad, and himself, they were able to rob a bank in North Yankton, which then starts his life story as Michael DeSanta. His former name, Michael Townley. So we all know what to place Michael DeSanta, aka Michael Townley, in, and we're gonna put him in the S tier. Michael's history and Michael's background and his success to becoming the biggest criminal and biggest thief in history has why I put it in S tier. He's not just the biggest criminal and biggest bank robber, he's also has a history of getting away with crime and also working with the FIB to get himself out of the situation and change his name, which is why I put him in the S. The next bank robber we have is John Herbert Dillinger. John Dillinger was born on June 22nd, 1903. His early life started in Indiana, where he was pretty much born. As a kid, he pretty much had family-related issues with his mom and dad. His father was a grocery trader, and his mom pretty much stayed in the house. As a teenager, Dillinger was frequently in trouble for fighting and petty theft, which he pretty much started at a young age, until eventually he began going up in his life. In 1922, he was arrested for auto theft, and his relationship with his father basically just ended from there. However, in 1903, Dillinger's troubles pretty much got him in the U.S. Navy, where he registered for the battleship of USS Utah, which he pretty much deployed there. But a year later, he would then return into trying to find a job. However, that's when he begins getting into robbing. First robbery would be in a mini grocery store in Morrisville in 1925, which he at the end was able to successfully rob $50, which is equivalent to $900 in 2024. After that, he continued to rob other places and other stores until eventually he decided to hit the bank, which ultimately would lead to his death. While robbing the bank, he didn't really have a smart plan setting up. He was a small professional robber, but he managed to somehow go onto the top until eventually he would fell off. So John Herbert Dillinger, we will rank him in the B tier as a bank robber. While he's not as massive as Michael DeSanta would be, he does have similarities, which they all started young and they eventually got to hitting bigger places until they eventually fell off. However, the difference is with Michael DeSanta and John Dillinger is that John Dillinger at the end died while Michael DeSanta still lived. So that's why John Dillinger will get into the B tier. William Scott Scurlock was born in Maryland and grew up mainly in Fairfax County, Virginia, the son of a minister. In 1974, Scurlock moved to Hawaii and reunited with his friend Kevin Myers, who went to the University of Hawaii on a pole vault scholarship. After Murray's scholarship ended, the two friends moved to the North Shore of Oahu, where they lived in a 5-acre tomato farm. They worked in Honolulu for a company called Hawaiian Plant Life and Privacy Fences for days a week, and the rest they spent on the North Shore. In 1976, while hiking, Scurlock and Myers came across a small marijuana farm. They later returned and stole a number of marijuana plants, which Scurlock subsequently sold. According to Steve Myers, Scurlock had told him that he always had dreams, even as a child, of robbing banks with a Robin Hood ethic, kind of like reappropriating money. On 1972, Scurlock and Biggins robbed their first ever bank, which failed as a result. The duo had plans to take a car from someone in the bank as their getaway vehicle, which they did, but Biggins was so nervous that he flooded the engine getaway vehicle, which they were forced to flee on foot, encountering hostile dogs and running across a golf course where they left confused golfers and witnesses. However, Scurlock loved the adrenaline rush and continued to rob banks on his own. He asked his friend Kevin Myers to help and offered him $250,000 for one job. Myers declined, knowing it would only corrupt his goal of becoming an artist. The same year, Scurlock robbed 6 banks, leaving few or no of the FBI, who subsequently gave him the Pinnacle of Hollywood for the theoretical makeup he wore during the robberies. Scurlock had plenty of banks to choose from, which all plenty of cash due to the burgeoning economy of the Seattle, Washington area, which turned the local into a money pit. By the end of 1995, Scurlock had almost stole $1 million, which the FBI was slowly noticing a pattern. However, eventually good things will come to an end by Thanksgiving of 1996, which when Scurlock was robbing a bank, the FBI put a tracker in the money, leading to the FBI being able to track him down, and Scurlock was shot and killed, leading to his death. So for Scurlock, we will put him in the A tier because his great way of disguise and his great way of robbing banks was able to lead him into becoming a successful millionaire. So this is why I'll put him in the A tier. The next person we have, and the final one, is Trevor Phillips. And we all know Trevor Phillips worked with Michael DeSanta in bank robberies, but Trevor has slightly his own story. He was born in 1967 to a poor family who basically had a mom who had drug issues and a dad who pretty much abandoned him at a young age. Trevor Phillips began committing crimes in the 80s when he began robbing stores and stealing a couple of dollars and some products from the store. Eventually he would meet Brad, who he and Trevor became really good friends with, and then along with Lester Crest and Michael DeSanta, aka Michael Tonley. Trevor and Michael would rob banks together, and their first one together was in 1992 when they first robbed a successful bank, becoming successful, until 2004 when the North Yankton Bank they were supposed to rob successfully failed and resulted in Brad dying. At the end, Trevor Phillips was able to escape and go hiding for almost 10 years, and Michael in the witness protection program. Due to Trevor's great skills, I would also put him in the S tier along with Michael, because Trevor and Michael both have great skills. Trevor being to be able to hide for almost 10 years and getting away with pretty much with everything. So this guy will go in the S tier. But yeah, everyone, if you enjoyed these rankings and believe I should do more, or I should change something, or more information I should learn, make sure to like and subscribe for more, because this is the beginning of great content. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Peace.